Welcome back to the Sipping Sooner. Thank you for joining me again today. Today we're going to take a quick look at Cincinnati as we get ready to travel up there Saturday to take them on at 11 o'clock in the damn morning. So you already know what time it is. Grab your drink, kick back, and let's get it. All right, this might be a little bit noisier video than most. Got my windows open, enjoying this beautiful weather here in Oklahoma. So I'll try to edit out most of the noise, but if not, we're gonna carry on. All right, Cincinnati lost in overtime to Miami of Ohio. Gave up 31 points in that game. First play of the game, Miami of Ohio came out with a 70-some yard strike on him, man. I mean, right out the gates, man. I'm sure they was quite surprised, But hey, good play on Miami's part. Just a few things to take away from the game. Cincinnati seemed like they was having a little difficulty scoring when they was in the red zone a couple of times. Got an interception at one point and couldn't even score. Got stuffed at the goal line. And I didn't even know this, but Cincinnati had beaten Miami of Ohio 16 times in a row, man, until last Saturday. Then gave up the ghost, man. So I don't know. Emory Jones still needs to work on his accuracy, on his passing. But I mean, hell, he's been in college long enough. It is what it is, He is who he is. So anyway, let's get into some of this. Emory Jones is throwing right now at a clip of 66% completions. 735 yards and 3 interceptions. So 7-3 ratio on the touchdowns to interceptions. Has been sacked 6 times. What I did observe from him is that he really doesn't step into most of his throws. He's throwing a lot of arm throws, and that can lead to a lot of interceptions, especially as competition is about to ramp up. He ain't going to have a whole lot of gap in between that receiver and defender. So, hey, he might want to start stepping into those throws a little bit more, or else I could see us having another big day intercepting passes out here. You already know. I mean, one of the ways I could see them really, helping him out is to get him out and let him use his legs more. I mean, he's a good athlete. He's got really good speed, especially for a quarterback. He can hurt you with his legs. But if we can figure out a way to contain him in the pocket and limit him and make him try to beat us throwing from the pocket, man, I don't think he can do it. I mean, at least as far as I've ever seen him, he ain't been able to do it so far in his career. So, but we know, as usual, when it comes to Oklahoma, we've had a history of making most quarterbacks, look like they Heisman Trophy candidates and stuff out here. So we'll see how that all goes. Let's get to the running backs. The running backs, you got Corey Kiner is a good running back, man. He's a really good running back. I think he's got 289, almost 300 yards so far this year. Averaging 6.1 yards a carry, with only 2 touchdowns so far, though. He's joined back there by the Montgomery brothers. I like to call them Montgomery brothers. I don't even know if they're related, but the 2 Montgomerys are back there with him. And so they're decent backs. I think one of them actually led the team in rushing in the Pitt game, I believe. I'm not sure. But he led on one of those damn 3 games. That's about all I can touch on with the running backs. They got a nice little stable. I mean, it's nothing that's, wow, or gonna, just be, just crazy. But, all right, let's talk receivers. Xavier Henderson, transferred from Florida. He's been basically their main guy. He has just shy of 300 yards receiving this year with 1 touchdown. He kind of disappeared in the Pitt game as well. He's a good physical receiver, nice size. But, it's kind of like I said, man, when you get these transfers in, sometimes they're transferring for a reason. Now, we don't know completely. The jury's still out on Henderson. He seems to be their go-to guy. But, he's coming over from Florida, and we know Florida's offense wasn't really their strong suit, even with Anthony Richardson. Hey, I put it to you this way. If he disappeared against Pitt, if he disappears against us Saturday, we'll win this game handedly. So, I'll put it that way. He's joined back there, Braden Smith, 170 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns, and D. Wiggins, he's got 150 yards, 1 touchdown. So, they go to those 3 receivers, and then they throw in a tight end, Singletary. Singletary, 57 yards, 2 touchdowns. So it sounds like they mainly want to use him in the red zone, and that's fine. I look at it like this. I don't think he's any more talented than SMU's tight end. So, for whatever that's worth. SMU's tight end was pretty athletic. So, we'll see how this all shakes out for them. Defensively, we know that they have a good defensive line, with Briggs in there, and Corleone, and then Phillips coming off the edge as well. Phillips leads them with 2 sacks, followed by Corleone has 1, and Briggs has 1 as well. The problem with Cincinnati, though, is they run that 3-man front, and I think our offensive line should be able to have some success against those guys, even though those guys are pretty good. It's hard to really tell. It really is, man, because they've made a lot of hay down there, at the group of 5 level. So we'll have to see how they fare up against OU's offensive line, which right now, OU's offensive line ain't quite running on all cylinders right now. But we know it's just a matter of time before they flip that switch. I think, we'll see them start settling on a 5. I think we'll see Beaton Bowl settle on, less rotation, and he'll get his best 5 out there one way or the other. So it's going to be interesting to see what the offensive lineup is looking like for OU. But either way, those guys, if they as good as they think they are or want to be, then they need to go out here and dominate, this 3-man front. Now, in the middle of that defense, they have a couple of linebackers, man, that pretty good. Dorian Jones, um, he's right there, almost tied with a safety for leading the team in tackles, along with Graziak, who kind of plays the edge and linebacker. You know how we do when we go to our 3-man front. So we'll see just how effective they are. Like I said, right now it's really hard to tell much about most of these teams. Most of these teams have played teams that they're better than, including OU. We're going to find out a lot about us as well. Now, on the back end, you have safety Brian Threats. He got 2 interceptions. He likes to come down. He will hit you, and he's got experience. So, I expect him to have a decent game Saturday. Justin Harris got an interception from the cornerback position. And then followed up by, in my opinion, one of the leaders back there in Deshaun Pace. So, they going into the season, we thought that the secondary would be a strength of Cincinnati. And so we'll see. But they did get toasted, man, by Miami of Ohio, like I said, right out of the gate. So I don't know. I mean, every secondary is vulnerable to getting burnt, at any time, man. It's hard playing in the secondary. It ain't easy, man. The receiver knows where he wants to go. You trying to figure out where he's going. So you always a step behind, basically, unless you just happen to recognize the formation and you done did your film study. As far as Oklahoma, I expect to see a little less rotation this Saturday. Now that we begin conference play, I expect to see, we're going to really find out who the coaches really trust. It's all good and dandy rotating 70, 80 players in there. But I think that number's going to be cut down significantly because you're going to find out exactly who the coaches trust to go out there and get this done. Now, if this game gets out of control and gets out of hand, then I expect to see, the rotation starts to kick in. It's going to be interesting to see who tries out there in what position. We know that McCullough may play. I don't know. Me personally, if he's going to be a liability, then I would keep him out this game. Let him have another week. I mean, we've been hearing about the depth of the team, man. So this is what it's about. Put somebody else in there, whether it's Peyton Bowen, whether it's Reggie coming over to play Cheetah. Let's see what it do. We've been hearing about the competitive depth, so hey, it's time to show it. As far as the offense, Dylan needs to go out there and put on another wonderful performance. He's been showing out, man, playing out of his mind. But like you say, it's still gonna be doubters out there, man, until he does it, I guess. I mean, people been pointing at this game as Cincinnati's defense being, the first test. But if we pass this test with flying colors and no resistance hardly, they're going to be saying, oh, well, that wasn't a test. We won't find out to Texas. But I still say this, though. Keep an eye out for Iowa State. Iowa State's offense, I doubt if they score 10 points. But their defense is still going to be their defense. Well, I take that back. How many guys they lose from the gambling scheme? Probably a lot. So I don't know. Their defense might be in shambles as well. I don't know. I mean, Ohio certainly put it on them Saturday. So, man, I can't. Lord. Anyway, so, yeah, Dylan needs to go out there and have a wonderful performance. As far as the running backs, like I said, I want to see Sawchuk. I know that hamstring, and listen, when you're dealing with those hamstrings, man, you have to really baby them, man, because if you pull it again, it's just going to lead to a longer recovery. I ran track, so I could tell you for a fact, man, that You pull that hamstring, man. If you don't let that thing take time to actually heal and you try to rush it back, man, you could make things a lot worse. So we'll see. And I mean, like I said, that's just how I look at every position. If you got a guy and he ain't 100% or close to 100%, and you got someone behind him that you feel good about, then hold him out. Then hold him out the game, man. Like I said, I mean, what good is it to have competitive depth if you can't do nothing with it? You know what I mean? Or you scared to do anything with it? Hold on, let me catch up. What I owe, like 2 sips? All right, I'll take one long one. Damn competitive depth. So, wide receivers, we just need to see them continue to do what they've been doing. Them boys is out there eating. You know, there's a couple of guys, that need to do a little bit more, but hey, that's nitpicking. Offensive line, like I said, we'll see what Bill settles on. Right now, we know he's just still tinkering around, still trying to see what works, what don't. I think he'll get back into his normal routine this week and figure out who his 5 are going to be, and then roll from there, man. This is what we see every year, usually around this time. That's when we see them start gelling and becoming who they're going to be. We'll see what the offensive line looks like. I do want to see Austin Stogner get a few more catches over the middle to keep those guys, honest over the middle. Those linebackers, give them something to think about, man. So far he's only caught, one pass over the middle. I think he caught one along the sideline. It's time to go ahead and give him something else to think about. All right, defensively, man, I mean, it's hard for me to even say anymore because as soon as I think that a team ain't going to max protect all game, that's when they come out and max protect. And the people that are still out there doubting the pass rush and the pressures, there's a reason why they max protected, because our defensive line is a concern. And anytime that you make the other team have to alter their game plan or leave somebody in just to block, that's a win, man. That is a win. Yes, when we play Texas, they not going to max protect. When we play the teams who think that they're on the same level, you're not going to max protect. You only max protect when you cannot block, the 4 that's coming at you, and you don't have that confidence that your offensive line is. And right now, they still have yet to face an offensive line that can really block them head up. And you won't face one probably until Texas. And then maybe none after that. So max protect is going to be the name of the game. We might have to blitz a couple of more times to free up one of those guys, But the second that they stop max protecting, I think you'll see the sacks flood in, man. They're going to flood in. We'll have that game out there where we have 6, 7 sacks. But, until then, defensive line just got to keep doing what they're doing. Keep putting the pressure on, and they've been putting pressure on even with the max protect. Linebacker, Stutzman is playing out of his damn mind. Kanik flying around. Whether he's right or wrong, he's still flying around. Kip Lewis getting more game. So, I mean, I'm happy with the linebackers, happy with the defensive line. Secondary, y'all need to work on that zone, man, for real. The communication is messed up, and I understand, some of these guys are freshmen. We run a lot of young players out there, so mistakes are going to be made. So that's just a natural progression of becoming a football player. So, and like you say, you need to make those mistakes now while you have that opportunity and you're not really threatened on the scoreboard. You don't want to be making those mistakes when we get down to Dallas. So, just other than that, 5 interceptions, man, shit, I'll take that every day. Every day. I'm not saying that he's underwhelming me, but I expected Billy Bowman to jump off the page a little bit more than he has. But you never know. There is a such thing as if you're not hearing about, a defensive player, then that's a good sign. So I'm gonna take it as a good sign. But I really thought that he would you know, jump off the page a whole lot more than he has just so far this year. But like I said, a lot of this is on the other teams as well. Max protecting, 3-step drops, getting the ball out quick. A lot of these teams are scared to death, man. They scared. So we'll see. We'll see. We know that Billy's a good player, but man, he gonna have to do something. He gonna have to take a chance or something, man. Put something on film. Because I thought he had a chance to get up out of here, and he might still. But he needs to go ahead and make that impact here real quick. So anyway, man, shit, that's about all I got to say about it. I'm just really looking forward to seeing, these guys go down there and show us something different. This time last year, we was in a similar spot that we are now. Coming off the Nebraska game, we was like, oh, shit, watch out now. We about to do something. And then Kansas State came to town. It was all downhill from there. 3 straight losses, Kansas State, TCU, and then Texas. And we know, TCU, I think that loss was already going to happen one way or the other anyway. I didn't see us coming back in that game. Texas game, though, we probably would have lost that game, but we damn sure wouldn't have got shut out, and it would have been a whole lot closer than what it was. Texas wasn't nothing special last year, okay? And to my friends, my Longhorns, that got in the comment section, yeah. Enjoy your little 49-0, man, because like I said, we're not showing up without a damn quarterback this year. So take that however you want to take it, sir. So anyway, man, I appreciate everybody for supporting the channel, man. This channel is growing, getting new subscribers, on a regular basis. Y'all act like y'all like the power rankings. I didn't know that video was going to blow up because the first one didn't do that well, but I guess the one I just dropped, y'all liked it, or you got pissed off and didn't like it. I don't know. But either way, I appreciate the support. So y'all gonna get me to 500 real quick. So thanks, man, and let's keep pushing. Sipping sooner. Let me slide my glass over here into this hand. And I'm out this bitch. Peace.